Hi kids, how are you? So last class we talked about the weather. So today I'm going to continuing reading the text and we do other activities from the book. And then I will give you some activities, okay? So let's go. I think this is in page 40 or 41, the exercise number 2 of the Dr. Taylor's talk about weather. So I'm gonna read for you. Certain factors affect climate and explain why climates differ from one region to another. These factors are distance from the sea. Weather heats up and cools down more slowly than land. As a result, temperatures on the coast are milder. Consequently, in inland areas, summers are much hotter and winters are much colder than on the coast. So milder is not very hot and not very cold. So it's like when we talk about objects is when we have hard and soft. So milder would be soft. Okay. Altitude. The climate of a mountain region is colder than that on the plains. This is because temperature falls as altitude increases. In proximity to the equator. Not all the Earth receives an equal amount of heat from the sun. Regions near the equator receive more heat, while the poles receive less heat, and therefore the poles are colder. Yeah? And then we have the words altitude, climate, equator, sea, sun, temperature, and winters for you to put, to fill the text. Could you fill it? So let's go one more time. Certain factors affect climate and explain why climates differ from one region to another. These factors are distance from the sea. Water heats up and cools down more slowly on land. As a result, temperatures on the coast are milder. Consequently, in inland areas, summers are much hotter and winters are much colder on the coast. Altitude. The climate of a mountain region is colder than on the plains. This is because temperature falls as altitude increases. Proximity to equator. Not all the Earth receives an equal amount of heat from the sun. Regions near the equator receive more heat, while the pole receive less. So here are the answers for you. Oh, the light's not helping. Okay. So let's go to next. Then we continue, and then we're going to talk about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the layer of air that surrounds the Earth. Remember that picture that we have the Earth, and we have a dark blue layer around the Earth, which is the atmosphere. Air is a mixture of gases, but it's mostly nitrogen and oxygen. Smaller quantities of other gases, such as carbon dioxide, argon, and water vapor, are also present. The atmosphere is essential to life on Earth for various reasons. First, the atmosphere contains the oxygen, which all living things need in order to breathe. It also contains carbon dioxide, which plants need for photosynthesis. Second, carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere retain the heat of the Earth, like a blanket. This prevents sudden change in temperature. Finally, the ozone layer filters ultraviolet rays, which are harmful to living things. So there are 3 reasons why atmosphere is important. Because it contains oxygen, that's important for us. The carbon dioxide, that's important for the plants. And because the ozone layer filters the ultraviolet rays, which are harmful to our skin. The layers of the atmosphere. The atmosphere extended for hundreds of kilometers, but plants and animals can only live in the lowest layer, the troposphere, which extends to 14 kilometers and a half high. Most of the water vapor and 80% of the gases in the atmosphere are in this layer. Weather phenomena occur there. So all the clouds, when it rains, so it's there in the troposphere. The next layer is the stratosphere. It starts just above the troposphere and extends to 50 kilometers high. The upper stratosphere contains an area with a high concentration of ozone called ozone layer. So after the troposphere, in the stratosphere, we have the ozone layer. The atmosphere does not end abruptly. So atmosphere, nothing. So no, it ends. It doesn't end abruptly. As we travel farther into space, the gases simply become less dense. The exosphere, the upper limit of our atmosphere, extends to up to 10,000 kilometers. And then there is a drawing there where we have the planet Earth, the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Yes, and then where everything is happening. So we have the Earth and the cities in the troposphere. We have the clouds in the stratosphere. We have some asteroids in the mesosphere, the satellites in the thermosphere, and we have the astronauts watching the Earth in the exosphere. Nitrogen, and then we have a graphic, a pizza graphic, showing how much of the gases we have. So we have much nitrogen, a part of oxygen, and a very little bit of other gases like carbon dioxide, water vapor, argon, and others. And then we have an activity for you to match which which is true. So the atmosphere is made of oxygen and nitrogen only. No, this is false. The atmosphere keeps the earth warm. Yes, this is true. So number 2, true. It provides the essential gases for all living things. Yes, so you can write true or check, okay? 4, it filters ultraviolet rays. Yes, check it. And number 5, it enables photosynthesis. Yes, check it one more time. Okay, and then we have another exercise about the atmosphere, which is to match troposphere, stratosphere, and exosphere with what phenomena happens there. So most of the ozone layer is here. What are they talking about? Troposphere, stratosphere, or exosphere? Stratosphere, number 2. Okay. Weather phenomena occur here, which is here. Troposphere. The upper limit of our atmosphere. exosphere. And most of the water vapor is here, troposphere. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, very good. So I'll stop here and I will ask you, you have I think it's three listenings that you still didn't do. So I'll ask you to do, no, one. The listening of the page 52, which is the volcanoes, okay? And then we're going to continue talking about the weather, and I'll give you 4 other activities about the verb to be, okay? So I'm sending you this one here. You won't see this drawing, but is to complete the conversation with I, you, he, she, it, or his, your. Then you complete here the sentences with the double H questions, what, where, or how, and then you match to make sentences, and you complete the conversation. So this is the first one, is about pronouns and WH questions. And then three sheets of the verb to be. So this first one here, you have affirmative, negative, and interrogative for you to remember. And then you just fill the sentences, you fill the story, the description of this girl, and complete the sentences with the verb to be. Then you have the short form, you have the contractions of the affirmative and negative. And then here you have to write the affirmative and the short form. Write the correct verb to be. Put the words in the correct order. And in the last one, you have the sentences and you have the pictures. So, number 1, then you see the picture number 1. Is he a teacher? No, he is a football player, yeah? So, is he a teacher? No, he's not. So, that's all, okay? So just put, yes, he is, no, he isn't. Okay? You don't need to make the full sentence. And the last one, you complete with the verb to be, make a drawing of you, and complete the story about you, the description of yourself. And then you have this and this, you have to write in a separate page, okay, or behind it, because you don't have space. Here you have to write answers about yourself. Here you put in the plural, so she is a girl. What's the plural for she is a girl? They. Very good. Here, the 5, you correct the mistakes. You have space here, but if it's not enough, you can write here or in your notebook, in another sheet of paper. It's okay. Just send me a picture. And here you read and complete with the verb to be. And these sentences here are in the affirmative, and you have to put them in the negative. So one more time, you write behind it or in another page, okay? That's all for today. And the listening of the page 62. Okay, so that's it for today. Bye-bye, wash your hands.